How to heal your soul after a toxic relationship. Reclaiming your peace and power. By T. Santoro. Have you ever wondered why you gave everything in a relationship and still left feeling empty? If that question stirs something in you, then this conversation is for you. You made it here for a reason. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're healing. Maybe you're still carrying words that cut deep. Whatever you bring, you don't have to carry it alone anymore. Let's talk. You came here to listen, not just with your ears, but with the quiet place inside that notices what words awaken, soften, and stir. What we are about to explore is not an idea for the mind alone. It is a walk through the inner rooms of your life, where pain left marks, where love still wants to breathe, where the truth is ready to speak without permission. This is not therapy, and if you feel you need guidance, please reach out to a qualified therapist who understands the healing journey after a toxic relationship. What I share here today with you is from my heart to your heart. I want to talk to you as if you are right here with me. Maybe you are holding something heavy you have not told anyone. Maybe you have given too much and called it love. Or maybe you learned to keep the peace at the cost of your own voice. If any of that feels familiar, you are not alone. Today is not about blaming yourself, and it is not about excusing what hurt you. Today is about reclaiming your center so you can carry your own life again. There is a pattern that sensitive people know too well. As a child, you might have learned to read a room the way other people read a book. You felt the air shift when someone was upset. You softened your tone. You gave more. You tried to make the storm pass. That skill kept you safe for a season, and it also taught you to translate everyone else's emotions before you ever translated your own. Then one day, someone with a pretty story and an empty center stepped into your life. They saw your light and called it a gift. They took it and called it connection. They fed on your willingness and named it love. When that happens, of course you try to help. Of course you try to understand. Of course you try one more conversation, one more chance, one more apology that you did not owe. The mind says, if I can just love better, things will change. The soul says, something here is not honest, and if I keep giving like this, I will disappear. If you are listening to me now, it means you did not disappear. You are still here. Maybe a little tired. Maybe a little guarded. Maybe still hearing the echoes of someone who tried to make you small. That is part of the story, but it is not the end. There is a moment in every healing where you stop asking, why did they do this? And you begin asking, what in me longs to live now? The first question can circle forever. The second one opens a door. When you step through that door, you begin to see with new eyes. You realize that what you absorbed was never yours to carry. The guilt that did not belong to you. The shame you were taught to hold. The blame that landed on your shoulders because you were the one strong enough to hold it. You can set it down. You can say, this does not define me anymore. Let me offer you an image. Imagine a long table prepared for a celebration. Silverware gleaming, gold-rimmed cups sparkling, flowers blooming in the center, everything polished and radiant. At first glance, it feels perfect. You sit down, lift the cup to your lips, and take a sip. But the taste is wrong. The sweetness feels false. Even the food, though beautiful, carries an almost artificial glow. You pause, look around, and a quiet realization settles in. This table was never meant to be shared. It was arranged only to be seen. And in that moment, you finally understand why. When you leave certain people, you always feel drained. The truth is, you were never there to be nourished by the conversation. You were only there to sustain it with your energy. The day you understand this is the day you begin to see others as they truly are. This is your awakening. You will notice that you no longer ask the table to give you what it cannot give, and you stop hoping that their mask of illusion will turn into a face. And in this moment, you begin to stop twisting yourself just to fit into a story that was never written for your joy, but for another's control. Know this, dear soul. When you rise from that table of illusion, leave quietly. not in anger, but in empowerment. Hold your head high as you walk out into the evening air, and I promise you this, for the first time in a long time, you will begin to taste your own life again. And here is the deeper truth. It is not an easy realization. It can feel like grief. It can feel as though you are breaking your own heart. It can even feel like you are walking away from the person you once promised to stand beside. But hear this, you are not walking away from love. You are walking toward it, toward a love that includes you, toward a life that makes space for your voice, your boundaries, your peace. Healing begins with simple truths. Powerful thoughts begin to rise within you. Whispers that say, I am allowed to say no. I am allowed to take my time. I am allowed to be proud of my growth. I am allowed to stop explaining myself to those who only listen for what they can take. These are not weapons. They are doors, and each one opens into a new space where you can finally breathe. There is another image that helps. Imagine a forest at night. You are walking with a small lantern. The light only reaches a few steps ahead. The trees are tall, and the path is narrow. You hear old voices echoing in the distance. You feel old habits stirring, whispering fears that you might wander back to where you began. Then the ground opens into a quiet clearing. In the center rests a pool of still water. You step closer and look down. The reflection staring back is not the one who learned to please, not the one who learned to prove. It is the one who gazes with calm eyes and says, I am here. I am whole. I am enough. This image in the still water is your true self, your higher self, the one who now comes home with you. I know the question that lingers. How do I ever trust again? And the truth is, it doesn't begin with anyone else. It begins with you. You start by trusting yourself first. You trust your body when it tightens. You trust your breath when it grows short. And you trust that quiet nudge inside when it whispers, something is not right. You don't need a courtroom to honor that wisdom. You don't need the perfect explanation. What you need is to listen and to respond in small, honest ways. Take your time, ask more questions, step back when you feel rushed, and watch closely how people respond when you set a gentle boundary. The ones who are right for you will remain respectful. The ones who are not will reveal themselves. Your task is not to argue with that truth, your task is to believe it. There comes a moment in healing when compassion grows wiser. You still care deeply, yet now you carry discernment you give. But you no longer give yourself away. You forgive, but you remember what your clarity cost you. You can love someone and still say, this behavior has no place in my life. That is not cold. That is wisdom. That is love in its honest form, the kind that keeps both hearts true. I want to speak to the part of you that misses the old softness. Perhaps you remember the version of yourself who trusted quickly, who said yes before thinking, who felt proud for carrying 10 things alone. You may miss that innocence, and yet you know it was too costly to keep. The truth is, you do not need to become hard in order to be safe. You only need to become clear. Soft and clear, open and grounded, tender and steady. This is the new balance. If you worry that healing will make you distant, let me offer another view. Healing makes you specific. You no longer try to be everything to everyone. Instead, you become deeply yourself. You enjoy quiet without apology. You say yes when your heart is truly open. You say no when your energy is not available. You tell the truth kindly, and then you let it be. Specific is not cold. Specific is honest. And honest relationships are where love grows. Still, sometimes the past echoes. A comment you heard too many times. A look that made you question your worth. A silence that felt like punishment. When those echoes call, meet them with present truth. Say to them, I see you, and I am not living there anymore. I hear you, and the choice I make today is different. I remember what happened, and I chose to honor myself now. Know this. You are not fighting your past. You are anchoring your present. Little by little, The echoes fade. You may begin to notice your attention returning to your own life in a new way. You feel music again. You savor the simple ritual of making tea. You take a quiet walk and realize you are not replaying the same conversation. You are simply walking, breathing, noticing color and light. These moments are not small. They are proof that your nervous system is learning safety again. Celebrate them. Place your hand on your heart and whisper, "Good job, keep going." With growth comes responsibility. You are asked to look at your own patterns with kindness and honesty. Did you stay because you were afraid to be alone? Did you give too much because you felt valuable only when you were needed? Did you silence yourself because peace felt better than another argument? You do not ask these questions to criticize yourself. You ask them to understand yourself. And understanding is power. What you understand, you can change. Let's practice a short reset together. Sit comfortably, let your shoulders soften, let your jaw loosen. Breathe in through the nose. Slow and easy, breathe out through the mouth. Slower still. Again, breathe in, breathe out. Place one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. Feel both hands rise as you inhale. Feel both hands fall as you exhale. Whisper to yourself, "I am safe to feel. I am safe to choose. I am safe to be me." Stay here for a few breaths. This becomes your new home base, a place you can return to anytime, anywhere. As you heal, you will meet new people, and your new clarity will quietly shape those connections. You will notice who listens when you speak. You also become more aware of who respects your peace, and which relationships automatically are restored after a misunderstanding, and this time with no price to pay. Your awareness will sharpen as you will have an inner understanding of who makes room for you and your dreams. Let your body be the witness, not the judge, simply the witness. The right people will feel easy. Not perfect, but easy. You will not have to shrink to keep them. You will not have to grow beyond your limits to reach them. You will meet them right where you are. There is a beautiful shift that happens here. You stop trying to earn your own worth through rescuing, and you start living your worth through presence. You stop trying to save people from their lessons, and you start honoring your own lessons, which is to stay true, to set clear boundaries, to love cleanly, and to step back when love is confused with control. Your life becomes simpler, not smaller, simpler, which makes room for joy. Some days you will still feel the old pull, the one that says, "Explain yourself more. Fix everything, take responsibility for emotions that are not yours." On those days, write a short note to yourself. I am allowed to keep my peace. I am allowed to end a conversation that is going nowhere. I am allowed to leave a room to breathe. I am allowed to choose the kind of love that nourishes me. Put that note where you will see it often. Let it be your friendly reminder. Your future will grow from the ground you are tending now. Imagine planting a garden with fewer plants, yet each one is well watered, well placed, and given space to thrive. Fewer, deeper, truer. That is the rhythm. You will be surprised how much beauty arrives when your yes is sincere and your no is respected. You will feel lighter without the weight of convincing anyone to treat you well, since you are doing that work for yourself. Before we close, there is one more truth I want you to carry. What you went through was real, and your resilience is real. The tears, the quiet nights, the questions that kept you awake, they were not wasted. They shaped a deeper you. Not harder, but wiser. Not colder, yet more clearer. Not distant, but intentional. Your empathy did not die. It learned to stand up straight. Your heart did not close. It learned to open with care. If you feel ready, place your hand on your heart again and repeat after me, in your mind or out loud. I honor my sensitivity. It is a gift. I honor my boundaries. They are love in practice. I honor my voice. It belongs to me. I honor my healing. I am proud of who I am. Breathe in and breathe out. You are not only a survivor. You are a builder now, a builder of a life that reflects the truth of who you are. You carry a steady light that will never again be handed to someone who only seeks to use it. You will share it with those who meet you with respect, with curiosity, with care. You will continue to grow. You will continue to learn. And you will continue to choose yourself without apology. If no one has told you today, hear it now. I am proud of you. Proud of the steps you took to leave. Proud of the steps you take to return to yourself. Proud of the quiet work no one else sees. Keep going. You are allowed to enjoy your own company. You are allowed to laugh again. You are allowed to love again. Slowly, kindly, on your own terms. Thank you for listening with your whole self. Today, right now, carry the part of this that resonated with you into the hours ahead. Practice one boundary. Practice one truth. Celebrate one small win. And know that your life will respond. Repeat this to yourself as you begin living in your truth. I am who I am, and that is all that I am free to be me. A great place to gain spiritual knowledge through storytelling is this channel, Awaken Light Energy. Like this video. See you in the stillness. If this story spoke to you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and remember to click the bell so you always hear a new story. And if you know someone who could use this message, share it with them. Because sometimes, a simple story is all it takes to spark something real.